It is AG. How's everybody doing? I have to wait for y'all to get in here. Looking forward to pull it up. There it be. I'm sorry I did not put out a warning for y'all this time like I normally do. Well, a warning or an announcement, whatever you want to call it. So, now I'll just sit here and wait for somebody to show up. And it's my fault, and I'm sorry. Maybe I will share it on Facebook. Because I forgot to set up the free feed, so y'all forgive me, but I will put this on the Facebook feed and maybe somebody will see it.
Holy search warrant. Hey, everybody. Alright, I'm gonna go find out how that comes back.
Huh?
I'm gonna go find out how that comes out there. I'm gonna go get that story and back to the
Yeah.
I will be back shortly, y'all. I got stuff to attend to.
Yeah. Let's see. Our chat pulled back up. Hey, Scott, how are you? Hey, Christy. Hey, Carrie. How's everybody? How's everybody doing? That is the truck. Can y'all hear the truck? He says it's not that loud. Whatever. It is that loud. I swear, this boy never puts nothing back. Anyway. Hey, PJs are good. I would be in PJs if I wasn't here. In fact, I was in PJs right before I came here. I'll tell you honest. This was one of those days that I didn't even get dressed. I just piddled around the house. Aw, well, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Mr. Cool, how are you? Long time no see. I didn't do my usual announcement ahead of time. You know, usually I post the announcement and schedule this thing so it goes out and people remind people. And I didn't do that, so we're liable to have a small crowd today, but that's all right. I don't mind. I did just share it on Facebook, so maybe a couple people will see it. Well, I know what Christy's been up to. Bless her heart. For those of you that do not know or weren't here last week, Christy's sister Cindy passed. So she's had a week full of, you know, trying to get everything done and getting her remains dealt with in her state, and she's had a lot on her hands. Fortunately, her granddaughter Michaela's been there with her for several days and keeping her company, and that's a big help, you know. Yep, it is Wednesday. And I said I forgot to put the thing out. You know, usually around 3 o'clock or so, I put the announcement out and schedule it so people get a heads up, and I forgot. So, I even forgot it was Wednesday, y'all. Andy said, "Are you going live?" And I looked at the thing. It was like 5:30, and I was like, "Oh, it is Wednesday, yeah." So, don't feel bad. It's not just you. It's not just y'all, trust me. Well, it says we got 11 folks in here, but only 2 of y'all are talking. So who's out there lurking? Y'all say hi. Christy thought it was Thursday. I kind of lost track. I don't know how I got off on my days. And I just did. I've been, went over to his mama's, hung out with her for a bit, and they're, doing some moving around, and the smaller room that used to be his sister's when she lived here, they're turning into a pantry because their kitchen is really crowded. They don't have a big kitchen, and the shelves and everything with all their food and all has just been in there along the walls with very little room to move around. So they're turning that middle bedroom into a pantry and moving the shelves in there. And of course you have to take everything off of those shelves to move them, and then it all gets to get dusted off and put back. And you know how stuff in storage gets dusty, so if you're going to move it, you might as well clean it before you put it back, right? So, thanks, Carrie. But yeah. So it's just kind of been, I went over there yesterday and that man broke my table. I'm going to kill him. I'm just going to kill him. I have a brand new 8-foot folding table that I paid dang near $60-something for, and it's cracked right down the middle. I'm going to have to hurt him. That's all it is to it. I'm going to have to hurt him. Skater! Hi, darling. Hey, June, I'm glad you could stop by, sweetheart. Yeah, it is a job. It's quite a job. And so I went over yesterday and hung out for a bit and had some tea and a sandwich and piddled a bit and talked about the holidays coming up and what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be going to Alabama. Christy, I'm coming to Alabama in October. I think October 14th, I think. I have to look at the calendar again. But, hey, Benz. And I'm so glad, Skeeter. I'm glad you made it, darling. We missed you last week. But, going up to help do her monthly shopping. Well, we do about probably 6 or 7 weeks worth of shopping. Cook a bunch of food while we're there. Put them into, individual containers for us. All she's got to do is just pull them out of the freezer and throw them in the microwave. That kind of stuff. And her bulk shopping with paper towels, toilet papers, all that kind of stuff. Got a thunderstorm between 1 and 3. Don't. Yeah, my dog never thinks I should sleep through a storm. Hey, Granny, how are you, baby? Yeah, Bo's that way too. He does not like storms, and he whines and whimpers, and he'll get out from under his covers, and then he'll get whiny and wimpy and get back under his covers. Then he gets hot and he wants back out from under his covers, and he'll drive me nuts. So yeah, I can relate to that one. I did take a short nap today. I didn't take a bad one. I know we've talked about this once before, you guys, but the flies this year are horrible. They're driving me nuts now. They are horrible. We had a huge thing of them, and then they kind of went away a bit. It was like we got rid of all the adults because we started taking measures to kill some of them off. And now it's like all the babies are hatching, and there's freaking flies everywhere. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like you open your door to go inside, and there's 12 of them that just swarm right in with you. It's disgusting. So when I tried to take a nap today, I had one buzzing around my face and kept waking me up. Oh, I go through that, and we're kind of in that cycle. We've actually enjoyed a week of really nice weather. Temps were in the low to mid 70s and overnight in the low 50s, and today was a little bit warmer. I kicked my AC on today. It was a little bit warmer, but it still is cooling off now. Like right now, the AC's off. I don't need it on anymore. I've only had to turn it on for a couple of hours, so but it's been really nice to have such nice weather. I'm doing okay. I had some trouble with my hands the last couple of days. I've been struggling, but all in all, over the grand scheme of things, I'm doing good. When the weather changes like this and you get these drastic temperature differences, it kills my joints. My hands have been kind of rough and my right knee, but it's kind of all goes with it. You know what I mean? It's not something that's any big deal to me. But other than that, I'm doing really well. The blood pressure meds that the doctor started me on are working really well. Most of the swelling is gone out of my legs and feet as long as I don't stay on them all the time. So the blood pressure is under control. My sugars are perfect, even with no meds. So I still do have a vitamin D deficiency. I am taking extra vitamin D now that she's prescribed at 50,000 units, I think, for 12 weeks. And she'll recheck the numbers. But I'm probably going to end up staying on them. And a lot of that, you know, we talked about it, a lot of that has to do with when I'm in really bad flares, I'm pretty much stuck inside. I can't really do anything. I don't get any natural sunlight. So we're pretty sure that's where the deficiency's coming in, you know, outside of the fact that it's common for when you have autoimmune diseases, vitamin D deficiencies are common. And then when you add the fact that I'm rarely outside when I'm in a bad flare, which I had been for the last 6 weeks, you know, I'm finally coming out of that and being able to get outside a little bit more. But I imagine she's probably going to leave me on the vitamin D, and that's all right. Yeah. But the pills she's given me, I hope, are doing well. Obviously, I won't know that until we go back to the doctor. I've got another, I think 4 weeks, I think, before I go back. So we're at that point now where I'm only having to go like every 6 months. We've gotten everything, the levels and numbers are so consistent and so much improved. And I think it's about 4 more weeks, and then she'll recheck the D levels and all that, and we'll recheck them. But so I'm hoping it's doing good. What about bites, Kiri? Hey, Angel, how are you, darling? Oh, good, Granny. I'm glad. I think Lippy said she takes them as well. But I mean, I've noticed some differences in my skin and stuff, so I'm guessing that's that vitamin D. I don't look quite as pale to myself anymore. You know, I've got a little bit more, as my mom would say, I got some color back in my cheeks. But yeah, winter's coming up, and I'm not going to be outside a lot in the winter because the cold kills it. Anybody that deals with any kind of arthritis, let alone rheumatoid, but any kind of arthritis knows that cold and arthritis do not mix well. So you can bet I'm going to be inside a lot more with my heat. But have you, and it works well for you? Like I said, I've talked to a few people that have taken it, and they've all said it works well. So I won't get the final numbers, but I'm sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Cross country. Those boys are getting so big. How old are they now, Angel? Amen to that one, Framey. Yeah. And of course, I've been watching this whole stuff with... Oh, Skeeter. I love you, darling. You are so sweet. Thank you so much, honey. I don't know what I'd do without generous people like you, because right now, most of you already know, I have no income anymore. I have a very small pittance of my savings left that I'm saving for my doctor's visit. So I have to save that for that. That's not an option. So I've got enough to set back for my doctor's visit and another round of all my meds. So we're good. But so you have no idea how much that kind of support means, Peter. You just don't. I cannot tell you. Thank you so much. 13 already. Holy cow. When did that happen? Well, I'm glad you got it back up and you're okay. Little Creek, hey darling, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. So I've been watching this whole case of the young lady that, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's all over the news. The young lady that went on the trip with her fiance, and 2 people left, only 1 came back in her van, and she's nowhere around, and then they, of course, did find her. It's really good to see you, darling. How's the little one? So I've been watching a lot of that, and of course, you know, I have my opinions. I have them, and I'm kind of... That's crazy. 13 and 7 already. My goodness, it seems like just yesterday they were barely out of diapers. Holy cow. They are getting big. How's Brian doing? He's doing all right as well? Yes, that one. I'm trying not to use specific names speaking. You guys are welcome to in the chat. It's fine. But I'm trying to avoid algorithms, if that makes any sense to y'all. So, yeah, I agree. And I think one thing that I do admire is her family. You know, her family has stepped up and created this foundation and asking, you know, where can we fill in the gaps? Because there are so many others that are missing, and there's so many people that don't get this attention. And I think a big part of the attention she got was because of her YouTube channel. These were people that had a fairly decent sized channel. They had quite a few followers. And I think they were already semi-public to begin with, and it just ran from there. But you know, there's so much. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad they caught it and figured it out. Hey, Daggers, how are you, baby? Long time no see, honey. Long time no see, darling. It's good to see you. But, you know, there's a speculation of, did he harm himself? No. He's running. Did they help him? Yes. Now then, these are my opinions, okay? And I'm going to state this unequivocally. Anybody watching this, my personal opinion is that yes, they helped him. And yes, he's running. And I had somebody on one of the lives that I was watching that asked, well, it's not like they could get him any more money. He doesn't have an ID. You don't need one. You can go to Walmart and send a MoneyGram through Walmart, and for someone who does not have an ID, it's a security question. So he can use any name he wants. He can say, my name is Jorge Hernandez. And as long as he knows the answer to the security question, and they can easily give the money to somebody that nobody knows, a friend or a cousin or whatever, to send it in their name. You do have to have an ID to send it, but you don't have to have an ID to pick it up. So it'd be easy for them to send him money. He's running. Hey, Shane, how are you, darling? You guys know that I talk about my little niece Cherokee all the time that was born. She's absolutely the most adorable child. And in the chat, Shane Tolbert, that's her daddy, my little bro. Hey, little bro. And if y'all look at the beautiful eyes that girl's got, when you see stuff on Facebook or whatever, them blue beautiful eyes come from her daddy. Boy, she got them too. Yep, Christy knows Shane. Hey, Rosanna, how are you, sweetheart? I agree, Diggs. I think so too. Oh, thank you, Little Creek. It's partially up at the moment. It needs to be washed, so it's not real puffy at the moment, but it's all right. It sure is easier to take care of, that's for sure. And that was a big decision in cutting it all off. I had because my hands have been so bad, I was in the arthritis, I was really struggling to take care of the long hair with all the tangles, and you know, it tangled easily. And when you can't really raise your arms much above here without stressing, trying to take care of hair that long is horrible. So I just thought, you know what, I'm done. Just gonna whack it all off. So, hey Bob, how are you? Did Andy tell you the other night when you Marco'd him that I said hey? He was supposed to tell you anyway. But yeah, I agree. I think he's headed. I think the original theory that Dog the Bounty Hunter had, somewhere along the Appalachian Trail, that's where I think he's at. Now, is he on the main trail? No, he's staying off grid. He's traveling through the woods, probably at night, sleeping during the day. You know, he is an avid outdoorsman. So living in the woods and camping for him is nothing. And of course, during the daytime, he's less likely to have a fire spotted if he needs to cook something. He's, you know, he knows how to catch his own food. He knows whatever he's doing, he knows. I agree. It was a diversion. I did that years and years and years ago, Skeeter, when I was about 18. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever let mine go as long as it was again. But I think you're right, Diggs. I think you're right. I think I think the camping trip was to meet somebody. Because let's look at this. You go on this trip with your fiance, the woman that you love so much that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And you go on this trip, you get in an argument, you leave her in the middle of nowhere with nothing. You take her van and drive home, and well, since I'm home anyway, we might as well go camping. Who does that? That's not normal behavior. It's not normal. And then they say that the records were originally, they had this scheduled for the 1st through the 3rd, which is when they were supposed to be back. So maybe it was scheduled as a family thing to get away, but yet they moved it. Well, why did they move it? Because when he got home, well, where's she at? Why do you have her van? And what kind of man would leave her stranded in the middle of nowhere without her van? If you wanted to come home, what kind of man wouldn't say, I'll get a bus ticket and I'll go home. I'll see you when you get there. What kind of man would leave his woman stranded like that in the middle of nowhere with nothing? You know it's not happening. Your friends had to take the scissors from you. So yeah, I just hope they find him. I really do. I agree, Skeeter. I agree. And put him on an episode of that what's that show called, Naked and Afraid, only drop him off in a Taiwanese jungle somewhere, totally naked with absolutely nothing, and tell him, make your way home. I don't know, I was listening to one lady that was talking, she was from Canada, and she said that along the border between Michigan and Niagara Falls, that there were several areas where you could easily slip across the border undetected. Honey in an anthill sounds good. Exactly, and in her vehicle. You could have conceived maybe buying some time if you'd have showed up on a bus. No, we got into a fight, and I told her it was best that we separated. She didn't want to leave, so I took a bus home, and she said she'll be home in a couple of days. Right? I mean, isn't that what we would expect, something like that to happen? And then what about his parents? You're going to tell me you're so terrified that something happened to him, but you won't cooperate. You're not out there actively looking for your child. Why? If you are that scared, because if this is my child, and somebody tells me, well, there was a spotting here, and we think that might be where, I'm going to be there every day, just like her parents were. When they thought that there was a chance she was in the Tetons, and she was, her stepdad flew out there. He said, I don't know what I can do, but I'm here to do whatever it is. He was there, a physical presence, and you guys can't even come out of your house. It's just not right. It's just too fishy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is. And it's, you know. And on foot it would take him a while, but I'm kind of like you guys. Okay, so we got a 3-day start. We know that they signed into the DeSoto Park. We know they signed in because her signature's there. They signed in that day. But there's nothing that says they stayed. You know, can you watch the... And I'm sure they now have the surveillance footage where they can see on the date that they were supposed to depart. Did they leave that day? Were they all three in the vehicle? Or do you not see them leaving that day at all? Did they actually go check in and then turn around and leave and buy themselves some time to drive him, like you said, north a couple hundred miles and still make it back home? Give him a head start. Yeah, so, I mean, that would be the most logical thing to me, that he's definitely heading north, and I do not think he's harmed himself. I did have one theory, though, that is a remote possibility when they were searching the swamps, that perhaps they may have been searching it for evidence. Maybe thinking he had a weapon or something they had... Because we don't know what the actual cause of death is. We know it was homicide, but we don't know, was it a strangulation, a stabbing, a shooting. You know, we don't know any of that. But is it possible they were looking that, yeah, he went in there for a day for a hike, but was it to throw out some evidence? And because, I mean, why else would they be looking under the water? Because they know he's not under there. He's, you know, he's live, he's not under there. You know what I mean? So that was a thought that popped in my head. Is it possible they were looking for evidence? Is it really, Skeeter? It's a beautiful area around there. Who knew I was that close to you? I've actually been to Fort DeSoto. So who knew I was always ever that close to you? That was many, many years ago. I didn't know you at the time, but... Hey, Bub, he'll be back. He went down the street for something. They sent him a message and something that happened earlier, and he went to go get the whole story. I don't know what that was. Something about I'm going to go get the rest of the story and I'll be back. Okay, whatever. Andy did not tell me he was building a plant near us, by the way. Thank you for... Andy don't tell me hardly nothing, bub. Don't you know that by now? I got to pull stuff out of him like pulling teeth. He's like pulling teeth. But I do have to give the girls' family credit. You know, even the press conference they did yesterday, you could see the grief. You could physically see the pain. They're all in. I love the fact that they did the tattoos together in her honor. They're the exact same tattoos that she has. And the dads, instead of getting the angel here like she had the ivy on the fingers like she does. It's possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think so either, but that was my only thought, you know, or maybe the parents did it. Maybe the parents took it and disposed of something and he waited at the house, which is possible. Because we know somehow the car got to the park and somehow the car got back, right? So then I thought it was possible. If they weren't searching for the parents' scent, then they wouldn't pick that up, right? So I don't know. I don't think we're ever really going to know truly everything. I don't think we're ever going to know the whole thing, but, you know. Moose Knuckle, oh my goodness, I had not seen you in a month of Sundays, boy. How you doing? Y'all don't know Moose Knuckles. Y'all got to go see Moose Knuckle. He'll make you laugh. Guaranteed to put a smile on your face. How are you doing, darling? So, Bub, where are they putting that Ford plant? Is that possible, Moose? Are you sure that's possible? Yeah, absolutely, Christy. But like I was saying, and then to do the press conference, to start this foundation and physically asking where are the gaps? In all of the agencies and foundations we have that work with missing persons, where are the gaps? Let us help fill in these gaps because we want her death to mean something, but we also know that there are millions of missing people in the world, and we don't want another family to have to go through what we're going through. You know, and to be able to put their own grief aside and step up like that, I commend them. I have so much respect for them. And you notice they have not lashed out. They haven't been ugly. I'm sure they have their fair share of words that they'd like to say to this family. But they have remained, I don't want to say professional, but they've kept their cool. You know, they have remained civil. They've not turned it into a hate fest when they would have every right to. You know? So I really, Stanton, Tennessee. Oh, that's why he wanted to know where Stanton was. See, he told me about Stanton. Because I said, oh, what's that butt up to? Oh, nothing. What you talking about? Nothing. Well, you had to talk about something. Well, he just wanted to know if I knew where Stanton, Tennessee was. And I said, I don't know where that's at. And he told me, and I said, oh, okay. You'd think that would be the place where he would say, apparently they're building a new Ford dealership there. No, that didn't come out of his mouth, Bub. See, it's like pulling teeth. Hey, Mark, how are you, darling? I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm struggling a little bit with the arthritis and the cold, cooler weather, but I'm not complaining because I love the cooler weather, so I'm not complaining. But overall, I'm doing well. Thank you. How's your family? How's your beautiful wife? Mark's got the prettiest wife, y'all. Oh my gosh, she's just gorgeous. Thanks, Mark. I said it's just going to be temperatures adjusted, and anybody that's, like I said earlier, I mentioned that, anybody that deals with arthritis, no matter what kind of arthritis it is, the cold and arthritis don't go well together, but it's all right. Yes, absolutely, Ben. I have got so much admiration for them. My heart just goes out to them. I watched one interview with Dr. Phil that her father did, and he said, do I have a feeling? Yes, but I'm choosing not to focus on that until we have an answer. He did not give up, even though in his heart, I think he knew, when he came back without her in her van. And that's another thing. When you did get back, why was it 11 days later that you told her family? I mean, isn't that something you think, well, I came back, we got into an argument, she decided to stay, but I wanted to drop her van off. This is her van. I wanted to let you know whatever. Not a word. It's just crazy. Yeah, it is, Gary. I've seen some of that. Holy cow. $60 an hour. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm kind of stuck in that place of, I can't really go back to work because I've started the filing process for my SSI, but if I go to work, I can't do that. They'll tell me, well, obviously you can work, you don't need it. But if I do go back to work, I can barely do part-time, and there are days when I can't get out of bed when a flare is really bad. I'd end up losing the job anyway. So it's really kind of tight at the moment, I've been trying to come up with some ideas, maybe crafts and stuff that I can do this fall. Maybe go to the flea market and do some of my Christmas crafts and stuff like that, and earn a little extra cash that way. But I've been looking into what I can and can't do, or if I can find something I can do part-time under the table, something like that. So working on it anyway. You love Halloween, right, Christy? From what Andy told me, it's only about an hour from here, a little over an hour. It's between here and Memphis. But, I'm assuming that 95% of what they hire are all going to be assembly lines, and there's just no way I could stand that long. If I had to use my hands, I don't have that kind of dexterity. I don't have the grip anymore that I used to. It would be very hard for me, but it would definitely be a boost to the area for sure. That's true, Diggs. That's a good point. Yeah. And I think unlike, the one question was asked with the campground. 3 people went in, but did 3 come out? And that would show on the surveillance cameras when they exited the park. That is very, very possible, Diggs. Andy's doing really well, Mark. He's down the street at the neighbors at the moment, but he is doing really well. He's been doing some work with his friends down the street, some tree clearing, land clearing, that kind of stuff, making a little extra money, which has been a big help. That's been a huge help, with me not having my income, so kind of flip-flop, but that's been a big help. So he's, not getting rich, but he's definitely bringing in a little bit of an income, and that helps. He's still working on his cutting boards. He has this one here. Let me see if I can grab it. Let's see if I can let gravity just drop it in my hand, because I can't. He just did this one, and he doesn't know if he likes the color or not. What do you guys think? It's a little bit darker color. He used a coffee stain on it. Y'all see it? I can't really hold it too long, but as opposed to the lighter, paler ones that I showed y'all last time. What do y'all think? I like it. He said he wasn't sure on the color, but I actually think I prefer this to the paler color ones. I really do. And there's no way I'm gonna lift that back up there. It's a little heavy, so we're gonna put it in his chair and he can put it away when he gets back, right? Sounds good to me. Yeah, me too, Mark. He's really doing well. Yeah, see, I like that color. I don't know, Chris, are you gonna be able to come up this weekend or maybe next? I think it's October 14th. I'm going to Alabama. I will check that date for sure and let you know. Yeah, I think so too. I love the way it brings out the grain in the wood. It really does. I like it. So if you guys know anybody that would like a handmade cutting board, these sell for $35 a piece plus shipping. Shipping's usually in the $10 to $15 range depending on where it's going to. So if you know anybody, y'all just let us know. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can leave a comment in the video here down after it's posted, whatever. Really? I used to love listening to them. I love their music. That should be interesting. I didn't know they had gotten back together though. Cool. I've so got to redo my nails, y'all. I know, not that any of y'all care, but they are chipping. I've really got to redo my nails. We can do that, Christy. And my walker's here, so you're welcome to use it anytime you need. Yeah, it's been a long time. In 2016, I didn't know that. Oh, I bet. We're both excited to see her. We are both really excited. I haven't seen her since last year. It's been almost a year, I think. Yeah, because it was still swimming time. She was still able to swim, so it was last year. I bet she's gotten tall, though, hasn't she? She's going to be tall like our grandma. We'll have to figure out some fun stuff to do. I mean, we go to Chickasaw, but you better remember that water is going to be cold, girlfriend. We'll go, but that water's going to be cold. I'm just telling you up front. If I had the money, we'd go horseback riding, but I don't, so. Holy goodness, she is getting tall. Right? I am going to Alabama. I think it's October 14th. I have to double check that date. We go on a Thursday and we come back on a Tuesday, and I can't really look at my calendar at the moment because I'm watching chat with y'all, but I have, actually Skinner was the last concert I ever actually went to other than a rock concert. I've been to a couple of country concerts since then. But the last rock concert I went to was Skinner, and it was probably, gosh, I don't know, 10 years ago? Oh, thanks, Mark. I usually do. I'm going to see his grandmother. I'm going with his mom to Andy's mom to Andy's grandmother's house. So we go up, and normally her daughter used to go with her, but her daughter moved to Montana, Andy's sister. So nowadays I tend to go if I can. I couldn't go the last trip because that was when I went to New York. So this trip we'll go and kind of do the big shopping for her. Because Nanny's, I want to say 81, 82, something like that. Still works a full-time job, y'all. This woman is amazing. Y'all should see this woman. If I could get her on camera, I would, but I rarely can get her on camera. But she is amazing. She still works a full-time job. She answers telephones at the hospital. She's worked there for gosh knows how many years. But she's amazing. She just keeps going. She said, why would I retire? What would I do? So she keeps working. She's amazing. But, so we go up there, and excuse me, we'll do some shopping for her. Like the Sam's Run with toilet paper, paper towels. We stock her laundry detergents for her, all that, her cleaners that she needs. And then we do a bunch of cooking while we're there and make single serve meals for her that she pull out of the freezer and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Skinner puts on an awesome concert. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. She's amazing. She is in really good health. She's in very good health. She's just an amazing lady, and she's got the biggest heart. She cares so much about people. And while I'm here, I'm going to give you guys an update. As most of you guys probably saw the post I did, I'm going to try to do this without crying. Y'all bear with me. On Facebook, asking for prayers for a family member, very sick, and I'm sure you guys can guess what I'm talking about. This is my Aunt Lydia. My Aunt Lydia, literally all my life, some of my fondest memories as a child going to Montana was getting to go to Aunt Lydia's because she made homemade cinnamon rolls and homemade French toast and homemade everything, and she would just spoil us rotten. She made the best cinnamon rolls you've ever had and ever put in your mouth. I don't care what anybody says. And Uncle Bob spoiled us rotten. Aunt Lydia, I love her so much. She's recently been put back on an oxygen mask. They're trying to avoid having to put her on a ventilator. I got a message from my mom today that said she's fighting hard and hoping she'll survive this. So y'all just keep her in your prayers. But also my Uncle Bob, her husband, a couple of their kids and several of their grandkids have all contacted it as well. None of them have been hospitalized but her, but several of them have had some pretty strong goes with this stuff. But she's just a remarkable woman, and I'm just not ready to say goodbye to her yet. I hope God agrees. So y'all just keep her in your prayers. Hey, Mary Beth, how are you, sweetheart? Thank you. Thank you, guys. But, I don't know. It was kind of scary because my parents had just come back from Montana. And, fortunately, they tested negative. They're good. My parents are good. But, it's not easy, it's just not easy. And then I have a young nephew that I have loved from day one. That boy's been through a lot. I know some of you have heard me talk about my younger brother that has a drug problem and has been in and out of prison. In fact, he's in prison as we speak. And this is his son. He's been through a lot, and a lot of it's stemming around that. And he's 15 now, apparently got into some problems. His family, his mother and stepfather and their kids all moved to Ohio, where his family is, and he has more work there. So, but there were some problems, and CPS stepped in and took him out of the home and placed him with her parents back down in Texas, where he's from, which is about 15 minutes from my mom. And he apparently got into it with somebody at school, and he snapped and threatened to stab a knife through the kid's throat, and it got pretty bad. He has now been placed in a mental institution for troubled teens, trying to get him the help he needs. It's just been an incredible week emotionally. It's been a rough week, but I just am one of these people that I will put everything in God's hands. It is all in God's hands, and I trust Him to take care of them. You know what I mean? Give me a second to catch up on my chat. Lydia, let me see. My mom is 74, and Uncle Bob is her older brother, so he's 75, which means Lydia's probably around, somewhere between 73 and 74, 72 maybe, somewhere in that range. Yeah, I saw that about the phone. Thank you, Bub. I think you're right. I think it was either to contact them or as a cover-up to try and feed the story, if you know what I mean. I think they're trying to convince the world that he went and killed himself somewhere so they'll quit looking for him and then he can just escape into oblivion somewhere. Move somewhere without extradition and work his way around. I think that's what they did. I think it's been their plan the whole time. And I don't know about y'all. Now, I don't have children, but I would like to think I'd do the right thing no matter what. I know my mom. As much as my mom loves me, if I did something that horrible, she would not try to help me escape justice. She would tell me to stand up, take responsibility for your actions, and face the consequences. You did this. She wouldn't like it. It would break her heart, but she would do it because it's the right thing to do. Aww. And you know she's up there singing and dancing. You know she is, as much as that girl loved music. She's probably singing The Sound of Music. She knows it by heart. Bub just turned 25. Yeah, okay, Bub. You do realize that I've met you in person, right? Andy and I have actually stayed the night in your house. You do know that, right? Oh, are you talking about your mental age? No, that might be different. That might be different, Bub. You know what's really crazy, y'all, is I lost a little bit more weight. And now I'm noticing the flabbies, and it drives me nuts. Well, I am 54. I'm old. Well, compared to some people. I feel like I'm 80 sometimes, but that's okay. It's that one, you know, that talk, you ever seen those things where they say if you could go back 40 years and talk to your younger self, what would you say? And I honestly think the only thing I would tell myself is to take better care of your body. You don't want to know the hell you're putting yourself through, trust me. You got that right. I saw a sign on a refrigerator once, y'all, that said, inside of me there's a thin girl screaming to get out. And then underneath of it says, I usually shut the bitch up with chocolate. And I started laughing. Yeah, sometimes our bodies don't want to cooperate with our brains, do they? Yeah, I thought that one was funny. That one cracked me up. Y'all know those, the kids do them as fundraisers a lot in school, those World's Finest Chocolates, you know what I'm talking about? They come in the little bar. They used to be twice the size of what they are for this $1 now. It's half the size. But one of my girlfriends, 25 at heart, I hear you, bub. Her cousin is selling them, and she got suckered into buying like 20 of them. I started laughing. I was like, yeah. The kids do fundraisers, and it's automatic. You just gotta do, you know? Her goal is to sell 600 of those bars, and I thought, oh my goodness, child. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. So what's going on with y'all? We've been talking about me, and we've been talking about the young lady, and we've been talking about all kinds of stuff. What's up with y'all? Anybody got anything exciting going on? Just living life. Sometimes that's all we can do, right? The best you can to get through one day to the next. Well, it's getting dark a little earlier now, so y'all didn't get to hear the guineas. Because it gets dark a little earlier. It's hard, Diggs. Because, you know, with Andy being so sick for the longest time, and then we got him better and I went down, I have got to figure out a way to get back to making videos. And I don't know what I'm going to make them of, because I don't really do anything. You know, it used to be I could do my car chats on the way to work and stuff, but I don't do that anymore either, so I don't have that long drive. I got to figure out something, y'all. But it's hard, Diggs, when you let it lapse a little. It's rough. Well, hopefully it'll pass with no problems, Green. I don't have my car anymore. I've been where I'm at for probably the last almost year. I don't think I've gained or moved much at all. In fact, Andy's passed me now. He has more subs than I do. Which I think is funny, but you know. That'd be kind of cool to have that many though, wouldn't it? That'd be crazy. Could y'all see us trying to keep up with the live stream? Oh my goodness. They're on YouTube. Cool. I'll have to go listen to them. It's only got 25. Wow, that's crazy. Mine had, I want to say mine had 175,000 on it, I think, but since I couldn't get the, that's for sure, Diggs. Mackie, behave. You tell her to behave when she ain't listening. But since I can't get Andy's back. That's what she's barking at. And there goes Bo. Can y'all hear that? The whining, that's Bo. He just backed in. So you hear him making noise? Can y'all hear the truck? Cool, Diggs. I'll have to watch for it, or send me a link. You got me on Facebook, I think, don't you? Bubba's in here, wants to know where you were at.
Handling some horse trading and business and stuff.
He was at the neighbor's.
Everybody. I was down the road.
Yeah, if you think about it, Diggs, I'll try to watch for it, but if I forget, just send me the link.
What link?
Diggers Outdoors is about getting ready to get a video put together from the Heritage Festival.
Oh, cool. What's that Heritage Festival?
A festival. Like any other with crafts and booths and a bunch of people that
Where's it at?
it's already happened.
Oh.
Well, that don't do me no good. Sorry. Angel says it is shark. Hi.
Hey, Miss Angel, do. Hey, Miss Angel, do. Hey, Miss Angel, do. Hey, Miss Angel. Just for you. And you can't get mad at me because I'm just saying, hey.
Yeah, it's getting darker a little bit earlier now before my live starts, so they had already gone up and roosted. So probably won't hear them until next year.
I'm pulling up the chat now.
Yep, there he is. He's here.
I'm here. Hey, CG is live.
She was live. Yep, I'm live. Technically, I only have 8 minutes, but I don't really have anything to do. So if y'all want to hang out a little bit longer, we can. Y'all tell me. I don't have any plans, so.
Whatever, you know. Don't let her fool you, y'all. She does them all night rock and roll total parties and stuff.
Cool,
And
Diggers.
it's hurting her every night.
Digger said it's a local business deal in the state park up there, the Heritage Festival. He He did a focus on outdoor and self-reliance.
Yeah. Hey, Bub.
You would like Digger's channel. He does a lot of outdoor stuff. If you haven't gone to Digger's Outdoors. Well, it's Diggs
I don't think
apparently
I
now.
have.
He changed the name. Diggs, but yeah. Yeah, that does get funny, doesn't it, when they get to going?
That Miss Christie, that's a daily occurrence. A couple of times a day, usually.
At 3 a.m. That's right. You're all the way over in Germany, aren't you? That is Mark talking to you, Alpha Thunderwolf. Remember, Alpha Thunderwolf? That's Mark talking to you. He's the one that always used to call me his favorite human. We had that joke about it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's talking to you. It was another name that I don't know what it was. Alpha Thunderwolf. That was
Okay.
Mark.
I'm good, Mark. I'm a little bit tired, but other than that, I'm good.
Oh, and the general consensus is everybody likes the darker color on the wood because it brings the grain out so much more. That's why your board was down here, because I showed it to them.
What about, what is it?
I don't know.
Oh. Don't pay attention to that one. You need to on that one.
Mark says, good to hear. Glad to hear you're feeling better, Andy. Do you hear me?
What about that one? Where it's got the lighter and the darker wood already? That one ain't sealed yet, so it'll be a little bit darker.
See, I like the darker color.
Yeah, but that's gonna turn that red
That's
right
going to
there
be
real dark.
gorgeous, though. That is going to be so pretty when you put the sealer on it.
It's got a little bit right there too.
Yeah, that's going to be so pretty.
That's gonna need a little more sand than that.
Y'all want to know what's really crazy? I don't have one of those cutting boards. I don't have one.
Yes, you do. I've got like 3 around here that I use. One's over there, one's out there by the smoke.
That you use. One that you said here, babe, I made you a cutting board.
I'm the one that cooks.
I do too. I made you tuna sandwiches today, did I not?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to use my plastic cutting board.
Did you tell them we got to eat the first chicken from here?
I did not. That's a good thing to tell them. Would you like to tell the story?
No, you can't.
So the other day, we actually had, was it yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last night. We actually had for supper our very first bird that was processed here. This was one of the
Oh, thank you, Mark.
one of the roosters that Andy actually put in the incubator, ran through the incubator, hatched it, and grew it all the way up to adult. And he was processed along with a few other roosters yesterday. So we actually had our first meal off the land, off the animals that we've raised. That was pretty cool.
That Bub, no bacon yet, but I do have homegrown pork sitting right over there under in the freezer that is probably going to get some of it done this weekend, I'm thinking, on the smoker.
Yeah, the when they did the pig, we did slaughter or process, I guess is the word we're supposed to use on YouTube. But we did do one of the pigs.
Yep.
And our neighbors, Doug and Violet, who are wonderful people, they helped him process that one, showed him exactly how to do it, what to do, helped him do the whole thing, and we gave them half of the pig for helping and teaching him what he needed to know. So that was pretty cool, but they didn't have the time to really cut it into pork chops and ribs, and so it's just in 4 big chunks of pork, but it's okay.
I got pretty much, well, it's the whole ham, but it ain't been cured in the ham. I got a huge Boston butt and ribs.
I just want pork chops. He'll have to cut me some pork chops off the meat he's got, or just, they don't necessarily have to have, I love the bone-in pork chops, but if it's just pieces of pork about that big that I can make into chops, you know what I mean? If a male pig was named Wilbur, you wouldn't kill it? At Mark.
Wilbur!
Carrie says maybe you can give her an idea.
What's that?
Carrie says her coop is a duplex. She had one side that she had the pullets in, that door swelled shut because it had rained last night, and there's a connecting door between the two sides. But the 2 of the pullets got out and couldn't get back in because she couldn't open that door.
Easiest way without just busting it down, you risk breaking it. Let it dry out a little bit. It'll have to wait until, quits raining for a couple of days. It'll shrink back down, open it up. Take the door off and get a straight edge and just trim 1/8 of an inch or so off the edge of that door, or you can do the same thing with the door jamb, but you gotta take the door jamb off. It's easier to just pop the hinges off with the door. So that's what I would do. I just shave just a little bit off.
So that when it does swell, it doesn't swell shut.
Yeah,
Just give it a little more room.
you're making a door just a itty bitty little bit smaller. That's it. So when it swells, you ain't got that problem.
Well, there you go. Said she like never get them bullets back in. I bet. Did I tell you last week that she lost one of her goats? Yeah, one of her goats died.
Oh.
All right, Dix. I love pork chops.
Miss Christie, come on up sometime. I'll throw some on the smoker.
I think she's coming Friday.
Cool, she'll be here. I'm planning on doing some this weekend. Which room? Don't forget to take that out of the freezer tomorrow. Let's start thawing.
Okay, don't forget to take the meat out of the freezer once it starts thawing.
Okay.
Of course, you might want to go buy yourself some foil.
Yeah, money's cool.
I love Charlotte's Web, the book and the movie. But pork chops, y'all, are absolutely by far my favorite meat. I love pork chops. Andy will tell you, if you gave me my choice, what do I want for supper, I would tell you pork chops and mac and cheese every night. I don't eat like that, but that's what would be my preference.
Now, I could get away with just buying pork chops and that's it on the big 5 for 5.
Grammy says, let me find it again. I missed it.
I ain't buying no more pork.
Grammy says, get your lard and ground pork from the trimmings and cutoffs. Make some ground pork for sausages.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because I've still got a lot of trim because it was starting to get warm, so we didn't exactly do a whole lot of trimming around. We just pretty much got it down to wrappable size and took care of. So there's still all kind of trim. I've still got all the trimmings and everything's got to be trimmed.
So yeah, that's a good idea to make some just like breakfast sausage, pan sausage. You have the spices and seasonings in it, but
I can
she
do that.
says it was hard, but she managed to get the sliding lock undone, and then she had to herd the pellets in. Hopefully they figure out both doors actually work to get them out soon. But Christy says she can't watch animal movies without squalling Bambi about killed her. Well,
Christie,
Charlotte's Web is okay.
Miss Christie, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my mama. Exactly the same thing. You can ask her, because you heard me tell my mama this to my mama's face. Bambi is just a piece of paper. It's a cartoon, that's all it is. It's just a piece of paper.
You know which one got me? It was Old Yeller. I cannot watch that one without crying. Do you have any juice out here?
No, I got some in the truck.
Well, I have some in the truck. It's in the glove box. 101 Dalmatians, Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, I love all the old classics. I absolutely love them. I have a movie I need to send to your mom, and I keep forgetting to send it. I should have sent it with the cheese this morning.
I was up there.
I know. I forgot. I know. I forgot to give
Was
it
it?
to you.
Was up there? Yeah, I think I was up there.
Yeah, you were, because that's when I gave you the cheese. And I
That's
should have
right,
took
yeah.
her the cheese. You went up to get your remote down.
Mhm.
See, Andy's dog, baby girl, you can leave most things down. She
No,
won't bother.
99.99999. She's got 2 things.
But if you leave a remote control
Or flip-flops.
or a pair of flip-flops, she is destroying them.
It doesn't. Remote controls and flip-flops, that's it. I can leave my boots down. I can leave my wallet. I can throw my wallet on the floor next to my boots. She won't touch nothing else. But remotes and flip-flops, they're done.
Yeah. Like, I've lived here, and I've been in Tennessee since 2019, I think.
Sounds about right.
Something like that. I don't know, but 2.5, almost 3 years. I've seen him go through 5 remotes that I know of because baby girl eats them. And I keep telling him, put them up.
Because I get up in a hurry and I forget to grab them when they're sitting there next to me and throw them up on the counter.
Where the red fern goes, that was a good one too. Oftentimes remarks are horrible. I've seen a few that I haven't minded.
Where the red fern grows makes me miss my hound dog.
It makes you miss your hound dog. It makes Miss
Sandy.
Christie cry.
It makes me miss Sandy. No, I'm no.
I'm surprised you even know what that movie is. That surprises me.
This guy don't know.
Lord of mercy. But yeah, I've seen a few that haven't been horrible. But then, one of my favorite ones to watch is actually not terribly old. It's a few years old now, but it's The Princess and the Frog. It's set in New Orleans, and I think I like it because of all the music and the little the lightning bug. Anybody else out there seen that? The Princess and the Frog. Have y'all seen that one?
Oh, just to put this out there while we're on animal movies and stuff. If anybody out there knows of a donkey needs a good home, holler at me. Let me
The
know.
heck does that have to do with movies?
Animal movies. I make videos. It would be an animal video. Therefore, animal movies.
No, we do not need another mouth to feed. Thank you.
I got plenty. I can get round, big round bales of eggs, 1,200 pounds a piece for like $30 up here.
Christy says Luani loves spatulas and followers.
Oh.
The singing gator, yeah. And I love the little lightning bug. No, I wouldn't be eating Old Yeller, no. Oh, it's cute. I have it, Christy. We can watch it while you're here if you want. But, the little lightning bug. My name be Raymond. But you can call me Ray. And then there's the song when they're traveling. You know, going down the bayou. Going down the bayou. Going down the bayou. Taking you all the way. Then there's this big line of lightning bugs, and they're all singing and dancing. And he hollers out and he says, "Oh, Grandmama, you light is out." And they flash to her, and it's a little lightning bug with a walker, and she reaches down and screws her butt back in, and the light comes back. Oh my gosh, cracks me up. Cracks me up. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. What kind of chucklehead done told y'all to go this way? I liked Ray. But yeah, I love Disney movies. I'll admit it. I'm a sucker for Disney movies. Beauty and the Beast was awesome. So what did y'all think of the Beauty and the Beast they did that was not animated? It was a few years back. You know, it wasn't animated. In fact, the girl that plays Hermione in Harry Potter played Belle. It was partially animated because obviously Mrs. Potts and Lumiere and all them have to be animated, but yeah, they were, Mark. You're absolutely right. Emma Watson, yes, thank you. That was her name. Oh, I loved Harry Potter. I have all of them. I watch them. I still do. About every 6 weeks or so, I get a hankering and I have a Harry Potter marathon. Usually it's when I'm down. If I can't get up and do much, if I'm having a bed flare and I'm kind of stuck in bed, that's usually the Harry Potter marathons. And Twilight, I watch them too. But
I don't have time to sit down and watch movies.
you haven't seen what, Christy? Yeah, I've got all the Harry Potter. There's really only one of the Harry Potters that you kind of have to watch it because you'll be lost in the end if you don't. But it's a little on the boring side, and that was the first part of the Deathly Hallows. But you kind of got to watch them going through the forest and finding the Horcruxes and where the stuff's coming from to know what's going on. But Lord of mercy, it was a little bit on the boring side. The new Beauty and the Beast. It's actually not bad. It's really not bad. They did a good job with it.
She wouldn't let me
Yeah,
use my
that
guard
part was a little
attack
crazy.
pig today.
You cannot set the pig loose on the people that are putting in our high-speed
I wasn't
internet.
going to set it loose. I was going to put him on a rope and just walk him out.
Yeah, I'd just like to see
He's
you get him on a
friendly.
rope. That would have been
It's
hysterical.
not also be easy to get on a boss walker out until you let you do whatever.
Until you put that rope on him. I don't get Bub's comment to you, but maybe you do.
Right, I don't see it yet. Oh, guys.
Here, bottom one.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, now I get it. Does anybody have a donkey?
Oh, you're more than welcome to go sleep where any other donkey would, bub. Out yonder in the woods, y'all just stomp out a few cows every once in a while. I hope you like hay.
Hogfather? I've never heard of that. Well, yeah, you and I, the animals would just kind of lead around wherever. Andy's at least a little bit stronger than we are. Although if Boss really wanted to drag him, trust me, Boss could drag him because...
Shit, Boss could probably about pull my truck on flat ground if he wanted to.
That boy is getting huge. I'm a British author, Hogfather.
He's probably about 400.
I will try to remember that. I don't know if I will remember it, but I will try. That's true.
Wilbur had a leash.
That's true.
And Boss is friendly as all get out. I mean, he's pretty calm.
He's actually a wonderful boar.
Mm-hmm.
We did keep the boar, and we are keeping the boar. The other female will get processed. She will get processed, and we're going to get him another female because the two are brother and sister, and they cannot mate. You can get over it. We can't afford that many mouths to feed.
No, this is coming later. Don't worry.
We can't afford that many mouths to feed. Well, I kept telling Andy that too. If you put a nose ring on those pigs, they'd quit trying to root under the fence.
I don't want to put a nose ring on them because I want to be able to start rotating them out, and I want them to root. I want them to act like goats right now because I ain't got no goats, and it'll cut down on my feed. And see, I'm working with what I got.
Whatever. He's trying to convince me he needs more animals.
I do.
We're struggling to feed the animals we've got at the moment. Avatar was an amazing movie. I love that movie. I'd like to have it, but I can't afford to buy it. Right now, it's not in the cards. I just can't afford it. But that's a great movie. The animation and stuff was just phenomenal. If you get a warthog, name it Pumbaa. That would be cute. On the Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
He was at the door meowing earlier. But
You didn't let him in?
Nope.
Oh, poor Ashimo cat. Beat me. He used to come in here and shop hanging out.
I know. I hold it for a minute or two and give it to you. But if you ain't here, then who's gonna hold it?
And he comes hangs out with me when I'm out here about every day too. I won't shut the door all the way, and he's learned to open the door.
Oh my gosh, Mark, you have to watch Avatar. It's an awesome movie. Even if you just rent it, just go like on demand, or I don't know if it's on Netflix or anything. I'm not sure, but Avatar is an awesome movie. You really go watch it. The Aristocats, yep. I absolutely do. What was the other one I used to watch? The Rescuers. You guys remember The Rescuers with the little rats?
Miss Angel, I don't exactly know how my hogs would do with just anybody. They've only been around a certain...
She does okay with me. They do okay with me.
Yeah, but they've been around you.
Yep.
Not every
well,
day.
most people, though, they don't know you. They run from you. So I don't think they... Unless somebody really tried to attack them.
Well, everybody that's ever been around them, I've walked them up to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like Cotton, don't walk up to that dog if you don't know him. Not without somebody here.
A Dalmatian named Lucky, yep. Yeah, The Rescuers was one of my favorites growing up. It was one of my favorites. I used to have it on VHS, but I don't have any of my VHS anymore. So I've slowly been getting Disney DVDs.
You should have kept your VHSs. They like collectible now. They sell them on eBay for like $20 and $30 again.
Tell that to the butthead that took them and gave them Goodwill.
Yeah.
I had every Disney movie practically ever made on VHS. And I had the player, I had the dual DVD VHS player, so I could watch them, I could record them and put them on a DVD if I want. Who is no longer in my life, left. He took it along with everything else. He took all of that. The Owls, yeah. Never Ending Story was really good too. But that was one you really need, if you're going to do Never Ending Story, you need to watch them in order.
Let's see what that is. That ain't just cotton bark.
Well, as they're going outside anyway, will you grab my juice out of the glove box, please?
Alright.
Welcome back, Diggs. That one was really good. Yeah, I do remember the Guardians. But Never Ending Story is really one of those that you need to watch those in order or you'll be a little bit lost. Or the Chronicles of Narnia. Those were really good too. Now, I have not seen that one. Guardians of the Galaxy, I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, that is good. That is one of them, and it's really good.
Just hold that for a minute. Let me get some down and do it.
Okay. It's a good thing, because I have to use my teeth to do this. Thank you. Sounds like that's one we need to watch. Smells good, doesn't it? It's actually a really good flavor. The Green Lantern, yeah. You know what I have never seen, you guys? I've seen, of course, the original 3 Star Wars movies from when we were all young. But I've never seen any of the later ones, the episode 1s and all that stuff. I've never seen any of those. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, the Green Lantern was good. And I liked Aladdin. Aladdin was good too. I love Disney. I just do. You know, Finding Nemo was one of my favorites. I love Finding Nemo. Have you guys seen The Reef or The Reef 2? If you liked Finding Nemo, this is kind of along the same ground, except this little fish is going to fight the sharks who is this one shark named Troy that's trying to kill him. They're good.
Speaking of sharks, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark.
I'd heard that. I heard the books were so much better than the movies. Maybe I'll see if I can find them at the library. Spaceballs, I remember that one. Yeah, I didn't see any of the new Star Wars. I didn't watch any of them. And then somebody else said, well, they even came out of order, so you'd be confused. And I was like, I don't want to do all that. Yeah, they were all really good. What about you? What was your favorite Disney movie growing up?
Andy Griffith.
It's not exactly Disney, but, you know.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
That's not Disney either.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I could see that, Christy.
Dukes of Hazzard.
I could actually see that, Christy. If you liked Finding Nemo, if you haven't seen The Reef or The Reef 2, they're both on YouTube. Free. But they're really cute, too. Yeah, I had heard that from several people, Diggs, which is why I didn't really watch it.
I do, Mark. They ain't under the camper hanging out paper dope.
She won't eat them.
They're her friends.
It's craziness. It's crazy, y'all.
I got a pit bull for that.
Good night, Carrie. Love you, darling.
See, that's what the only thing that was missing in Toy Story was a good pit bull to save the day, save her friends.
They had each other. Craziness. Craziness. Total craziness. could probably still find them.
Miss Christie, apparently the Ashimo cat was outside earlier before I got back, and she wouldn't even let him in the door. Because I leave the door open, the Ash cat could open the door, but she closed the door all the way, and Ash cat couldn't even open the
And
door to come
excuse me.
inside and hang out.
Excuse me. You closed the door all the way when you left. I was already sitting here, remember?
You could have got up and let him in.
So don't blame that on me.
She could have got up and let him in, Miss Christie, tell her.
Fern Gully, yeah. I don't know if I ever saw the black hole. I might have to look into that one, Diggs. I don't think I ever saw that. What was the guy on the rescue? It was Bernard. Wasn't his name Bernard? And they would use the sardine can was what they would strap to the seagull to get carried around in. That was their seats on the airplane. I love The Lion King. The Goonies, yeah. Who kitties out hunting? Out on the prowl, huh?
I ain't no telling where Ash is at right now. He might have showed up. He might be laid out there on the hood of my truck.
Possibly. Oh, speaking of which, how the blankety blank blank did you break my table?
What table? What table? The
My
folded
folding
over?
table that's sitting right there that I paid 60-something bucks for.
It ain't broke. It's still in the plastic.
I'm looking at the crack,
That's the plastic. It ain't even took out the plastic yet.
honey. I'm looking at the crack.
I'll show you.
Okay. If it's the plastic, you're forgiven.
That's the plastic.
Okay, you're forgiven. Now it's not, but now it's not a plastic anymore. It's gonna get all messed up.
Uh-huh. You didn't believe me?
He didn't have to tear the plastic off. I could have just lifted it.
See how she does me, y'all? It's still sitting there in the plastic, perfectly fine, and she gets on me for whatever.
Maleficent. Yep. I love the Muppets. Muppets are cool. Yeah, The Huntsman was based on that, on the Snow White, and that one was pretty good. He is forgiven. I don't have to kill him now. He did not break my table.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Got cussed out for not even doing nothing.
I did not cuss at you.
Blankety blankety blank counts.
I just said how the blankety blank did it get broken. I did not cuss you.
Mm-hmm. She was getting ready to, though.
Yeah, The Huntsman. Yeah, pretty much. Van Helsing, yeah. His mama and I were talking the other day about scary movies, and she said, well, I'm kind of some I like, and I said, here's the thing for me. I don't like gory movies. I like scary movies, but I don't like gory movies. Like the Saw movies, you will never see me watch those. That about made me want to throw up. But Jason and all that, they show you what's going to happen, but they don't actually show the gross stuff, you know what I mean? But his mom had never seen Psycho because she was afraid it was going to be gory in that shower scene. I said, no. In the movie, because back when that movie was made, they couldn't show that kind of stuff. You know, I said, it's just the shadow. So she's going to be watching Psycho soon for Halloween. That's an awesome movie. I actually have that one on DVD. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. If y'all have never seen that, I highly recommend you watch that. It is really good.
I don't think I've ever seen.
Hellraiser is very gory. I do not like that at all. I watched one and that was it. Bub, you were crazy.
Yeah, that's right, Bub.
You were so crazy. But yeah, I like scary. I don't like gory. I like being startled. I like, the suspense movies, I guess. And I don't mind like Halloween and Friday the 13th because they're not overly gory. They show you what's going to happen, but not the act itself. Oh my goodness, I could see her doing that too, Christy. I could see that. But that was crazy. I was a kid when Psycho came out. I was probably 12, 13. And my Aunt Aggie, she worked for a promotions company. She worked in the office. And they often got promotional things from all these movies that they worked on. And I remember one day she brought us a shower curtain. And it was that clear looking white, misted white shower curtain. And in red letters it had the word Psycho with blood running down it. Like, you are absolutely out your mind if you think I'm going to get behind that and take a shower. I was terrified. I was like, no. Today it wouldn't bother me because I know it's just, but at 12, 13, I was like, oh, no, we're not watching that. The Night of the Living Dead or The Blob. Y'all remember The Blob? The first what I thought of was a scary movie to me was Jaws. I was 5, and my Aunt Char took me because she wanted to go to the movies, and she was babysitting, and she told my mom she was taking us to the movies, and okay, she took me to see Jaws. I had my coat over my head. Every time even the fin would stick up out of the water, I'd cover my head up. And then when I got home for a solid week, my mother couldn't get me to take a bath no matter what she did, because I knew that Jaws was going to come up through the pipes. I was terrified. Of course, now I have all 4 of them.
I think I'm about to go in there and get her bed. It's already
It is 8:30. I probably need to start wrapping this up because, like he said, it's past his bedtime.
I don't get to stay up all night with him rocking on token parties and stuff like she does.
Whatever. I sit there with my
tequila away.
I believe it.
Beer
It
pong.
terrified me. I was scared half to death. Every 4th of July. That was a crazy movie, Diggs. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap this up. We can talk about movies again next week if y'all want to talk about movies. I bet so. He probably did great, though. Anyway, thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was good to see everybody. Some old friends, you guys. So, Granny, Christy, everybody, Angel, everybody else that's watching, anybody I'm forgetting, I love you guys. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. I'm kidding, dude. Anyway, send video.